Fast forward, you come our channel, so how AGH Politics Avenue. Political source training because making headlines. Nigeria need to be exumo, need him young Brasimo, Mr. say yemo in Simo. Only a court in Simo, a year removed Chief Justice, get to Tukuno. My men on give it up, cry, and Yasam Koto. I mean, say, and there with me, Astomic courts are still or sign a challenge a year ni removal from office. Mr. say, Martin Pebu, Ajemre, our in Chimun. At this point in time, young room not in Reniaco and Idiaba, and that's what Jemre.
About grounds you remove a Chief Justice. No.
Okay.
There's no other provision saying that if you want to remove a Chief Justice, the grounds are separate. No, they've made the grounds for Superior Court judge because it's clear to them that the Chief Justice would necessarily be a Superior Court judge. So whether you are removing the person as Chief Justice or you are removing the person simply as a Superior Court judge, which includes the Supreme Court, it is still the same 1461.
Okay.
Those things that have been proven. She cannot continue in office as a Supreme Court judge with those things proven against her. The tickets for Adam and the guy Torkornoos, her daughter, and then the per diem of that $10,000 for the same Adam and the guy Torkornoos, the money for the husband, Mr. Torkornoos, that's the per diem. No, she cannot continue in office with those things. No,
okay.
So this one, it looks more academic than the real problem.
Counsel, sorry for cutting in, but she, as part of the relief she's seeking, and I'll put that on the screen shortly so that viewers can follow, she's saying that if the body is supposed to be, a body is supposed to be properly constituted if they are to take out the Chief Justice. And it says, I'm reading, a declaration that jurisdiction to hear a petition for the removal of a justice of the Supreme Court from office lies with a body properly constituted under Article 1464 of the Constitution. That is at variance with what you are saying, isn't it?
Yeah, so what it's looking for, it's academic. It's not practical.
Right.
That's why I said, yes. The 1461, which states 3 grounds for removing a justice of the Superior Court. When we say Superior Court, we mean High Court, Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. So if you're a judge of any of these courts, you're a judge of the Superior Court. And so those are the grounds. Now, when you come to Chief Justice, you won't find any other provision in the Constitution saying that if you want to remove Chief Justice, these are separate grounds. Or, yes, separate. No, it's one and the same.
Okay.
And from the Supreme Court decisions that have come, when you lose your position as Chief Justice, it's losing the position as a Justice of the
Supreme Court as well. Okay. Counsel, thank you. Thank you so much for your thoughts on this. And clearly, it's news just coming in, so we'll be getting more reactions to it. But let's take you through some of the key reliefs that Chief Justice former, I should say, is seeking. First, she's asking a declaration that the president is devoid of the power to remove a justice of the Superior Court from office without recourse to the mandatory procedure set out in Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. She says a declaration, or is seeking a declaration that the jurisdiction to hear a petition for the removal of a justice of the Supreme Court from office lies with a body properly constituted under Article 1464 of the Constitution, which was the question I asked Martin Pebu a few minutes ago. Also, she's seeking a declaration that the warrant of removal executed by the President on the 1st of September purporting to remove the applicant hearing from both the office as Chief Justice and the office as a Justice of the Superior Court of Judicature is unlawful, null, void, and of no effect. And in conclusion, she is asking for an order of certiorari to bring into this honorable court for the purpose of being quashed the warrant of removal dated the 1st of September 2025, referred to in the C above, which we mentioned to you, and to quash same as being in violation of the mandatory provisions regarding the removal of a justice of the Superior Court of Judicature from office. So simply put, she's saying that although she held 2 positions, the president did not have the order or the power to remove her from both offices, but Martin Pebu thinks otherwise.
And now, news just in indicates that Ghana's deportation agreement with the United States has now brought about a fresh wave of lawsuits, this time from the deportees themselves. 11 West African nationals have taken legal action against the government of Ghana, challenging their transfer from the United States under the controversial agreement. The applicants, who are Nigerian, Togolese, Gambian and Malian nationals, say they were strictly removed from U.S. detention centers earlier this month, despite having previously secured protection against deportation from American immigration courts. They claim they only discovered later that Ghana was their unexpected destination. Since their arrival on September 6, they say they have been kept in military facilities, denied proper access to family members, and held for more than 48 hours without any court order. The suits filed before Ghanaian courts include a habeas corpus action questioning the lawfulness of their detention, a human rights case alleging violation of their liberty and administrative justice, and an injunction seeking to stop any attempt to send them back to their countries of origin. Government has meanwhile maintained that the individuals are in Ghana only on a temporary basis and that arrangements are being made for their return to their respective countries in line with the agreement with the United States.
Let's go on to some other stories now. The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, makes annual losses of 1.6 billion cedis to illegal connection. Challenges like this is what customers expect the power distributor to manage before asking for an increment in tariff. At the Accra public hearing for the 2025 to 2030 major tariff review, the agitated customers described ECG's proposed 224% increment in its distribution service charge as totally flawed. George Queening has more.
As you are aware, utility service providers have tabled their proposals to the PURC. The current stage now is that consumers are being given the opportunity to engage one-on-one with these providers to ensure they explain in simple but relatable terms these proposals. And for the PURC, a major challenge is balancing the interests of consumers and that of the service providers.
We are balancing the two and also taking care of the interests of the very poor through what we call the lifeliners and ensuring that the consumer, the utility providers, and then the extremely vulnerable people in the community are all taken care of in this tariff decision-making process.
For some consumers, the approval for ECG should be put on hold until they do their homework well.
I think for ECG's proposal, it's flawed. We do not have to accept that one until we get good service from them. When you call them and they are to attend to things for you, they'll be giving you excuses. We are at PS Global. We are at this place. You get to PS Global, and people at PS Global also complain that when they call ECG workers to attend to them, they tell them that they are in court. And you want an increment? No.
We've suffered for long. They have not been fair. These meter issues is everywhere. People apply for meters, and you pay, and you have to go and come, go and come, go and come.
Somebody in there said that she paid 9,000 cedis for a single phase meter. But the correct charge is supposed to be 1,300 cedis. So it means that they are cheating us. Where is that money going to? I think half is okay, or 50% is okay.
But the ECG is appealing to the PURC to approve their proposal to ensure they remain viable.
We may have to take the opportunity to explain to them the basis of our proposal. And I believe that once we are able to explain to them, they will bear with us. Illegal connection is something that we are applying all resources to address. Let me also take this opportunity to announce to the public that we still have 6% incentive to any body that inform us concerning illegal connection. Once we recover the amount that the person has consumed illegally and the penalty, we'll calculate 6% of any amount we have recovered and pay it to this person. And the person too will be treated without such that nobody will know you provided the information.
Hopefully by November, the final decision will be made and the full implementation will take effect from January 2026. Josh Quayne, TV3 News, Accra.
And now, the Minister of Transport, Joseph Nikpe, has announced that the Tema-Mpakadan rail line will begin operations from October 1 after the coach was involved in an accident during the first test drive. A second test drive was completed yesterday. The Minister of Transport announced this when he took his turn at the Government Accountability Series at the Presidency here in Accra.
We have done test run on the Tema to Mpakadan rail line, and it ended yesterday. And so by 1st October, God willing, we will start the first operations from Tema to Mpakadan. We are finished with the test runs and everything is set for us to start operations from Tema to Mpakadan. So 1st October, maybe with our first trip, we will invite all of you to witness how that rollout will take place.
Meanwhile, President John Dramani Mahama has reposed confidence in local contractors to perfectly execute the big push agenda that will drive local content and create jobs for the youth. Breaking the ground for the commencement of the big push infrastructure drive, there is mounting pressure from the president, who has indicated his willingness to be personally involved in the monitoring of the execution of all big push projects with priority to Ghana's local contractors.
The Bawumia Road for years has been an albatross on the neck of residents and commuters on the stretch. During rainy seasons, it remains immotorable. President Mahama, after several promises by the past administration, fulfilled a long pledge to the people by formally cutting the sword for another set of work in the Greater Accra region under the Big Push Initiative. The Big Push Initiative entailing the reconstruction of a critical 24.8-kilometer Dodowa-Afenya-Dawenya Road. The project involves the reconstruction of the 24.8-kilometer main corridor along with 3 kilometers of selected town roads along the route. Upon completion, the project is expected to significantly improve traffic flow, ease the burden on commuters and motorists, and drastically reduce travel time in the area, thereby boosting economic activity. The president has thrown his executive weight behind the contractor Oswell Investment, one of the few contractors who has remained on site despite government indebtedness to him.
Now, the contractor on this road, as I said, is Oswell Investments Limited. And I can say with my hand on my heart that he is one of our best local contractors. We also have the ongoing Adenta-Dodowa Road dualization. We have captured that under the Big Push. I think that's one of Oswald's projects too, Adenta-Dodowa Road. The good thing is he works with speed. He works very fast, but he doesn't compromise quality. And so I want to assure the people of Dodowa, Afenya, Dawenya that you have on your road one of the best Ghanaian contractors doing your road.
Firm conviction of using modern technology and working to schedule, Oswell Investment Limited says there is no room for failure from the local contractors. The project is to last not more than 24 months non-renewable, the president had intimated. Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Afenya.
Moving on to some more news this evening, statesman and former Ghana Football Association chairman Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo has renewed calls for urgent action against illegal mining, warning that Galamsey is a cancer destroying Ghana. In a statement released on Tuesday, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo said years of unregulated mining have poisoned rivers such as the Pra, Birim and Ankobra, devastated farmlands and endangered public health. He cited reports of skin diseases, kidney problems and mercury contamination in food as evidence of a silent epidemic linked to Galamsey. He urged government to declare the menace a national emergency, allowing the security services to act without political interference and hold financiers, chiefs and politicians accountable. He also called for land reclamation, alternative jobs for young miners and greater transparency in licensing.
The minority leader, Alexander Fenyoma-King, is calling on the youth to take an active role in the fight against illegal mining. He noted that political leaders often fall back on rhetoric and blame shifting when addressing the issue, an approach that has hindered meaningful progress. Mr. Fenyoma-King believes it's time for young people to take the lead and drive real change in tackling the menace.
As we dream together, let us also confront the dangers that threaten our future. None is more urgent than the menace of illegal mining, otherwise known as galamsey. This destructive practice is stealing your future. It is robbing farmers of fertile soil, poisoning the water of our children, and destroying the environment you and I must inherit. If we allow galamsey to continue unchecked, then we are complicit in selling tomorrow for today's greed. I therefore challenge you, the youth, to be at the forefront of this fight, to speak up, protect our rivers, and to insist on sustainable ways of harnessing Ghana's natural resources. Enough of the political rhetoric and blame game. My earliest memory of this galamsey is when Honorable Setekwe appeared before the Finance Committee in 2015. At the time, the Cocoa Board was under the Ministry of Finance, and he came to address us, the Finance Committee, on why cocoa production was going down. And he shared with us the unfortunate story of galamsey. When President Akuffo came into office, he even publicly declared that he was putting his presidency on the line.
And now to the courts. A 30-year-old Ghanaian TikToker has been jailed for threatening to kill the president, members of parliament and other government officials. David Affo, who describes himself as Kwame Nkrumah II, was convicted on his own plea and given a 7-month jail term by an Accra Circuit Court.
According to the prosecution, David Affo on August 31 posted a video on social media platform TikTok threatening to end the lives of all government officials and destroy diplomatic vehicles. He was subsequently arrested on September 13 and arraigned before the circuit court. The 30-year-old porter from Kaswa was charged with threat of death and offensive conduct to the breach of peace. In court on Wednesday, September 17, the accused pleaded guilty to offensive conduct but not guilty to threat of death. The prosecution, led by Inspector Abel Amane, then prayed the court to punish him, describing the rate at which the youth are using social media as alarming and threat to national security. The prosecution further pleaded with the court for an order to get the National Communication Authority and the accused person to delete the video from the internet. In his closing statement, David Affo, who had no legal representation, prayed for forgiveness, adding that he was not aware of what he was saying. In sentencing the accused person, the presiding judge, Jojo Amwa-Hagan, took cognizance of the fact that he did not waste the court's time and is a first-time offender. David Affo was sentenced to 7 months imprisonment. The judge further ordered the police to supervise the deletion of the viral video. Lord Edwasari, TV3 News.
Now, a spokesperson of the Movement for Change, Solomon Owusu, has formally petitioned the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate the 2024 NPP flag bearer and former Vice President of the Republic, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, for corruption, in which the former Vice President is widely circulated in a video on social media to allegedly boasting of purchasing 300 brand new Navara pickups for the party. The petition, among others, is asking the OSP to trace the origin of the 300 pickup vehicles and possible abuse of public office as a former vice president and politician. It says that Dr. Bawumia's ability to raise such unprecedented sums gives rise to a reasonable suspicion of abuse of influence, conflict of interest, or diversion of public resources. The petition also mentions the potential breach of political financing and anti-corruption laws. Ghana's legal framework imposes strict discourse, reporting, and anti-corruption obligations on public officers and political parties.
And now Ghana is granting access to all Africans, especially West African nationals, to come and invest, settle and contribute to Ghana in their various capacities. Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, on the back of the controversial immigration policies of the US and some European countries, has thrown an invitation to all Africans.
The Foreign Affairs Minister was speaking at the 2025 edition of the Diaspora Summit, which is targeting Africans across the world to visit Ghana in December for the summit, which aims to tighten the Pan-African bond. This comes on the back of a recent national debate about why Ghana welcomed 14 deportees from the United States over their immigration status.
So we send a clear message to all Africans in the diaspora. Any government that you feel is violating your rights, is maltreating you, and makes you feel unwanted, declares you an alien, and does not want you to feel at home, please know that Ghana is ready to receive you. We are with open arms, ready at all times to welcome you to our safe, beautiful, and hospitable country. You can always consider Ghana home.
For his part, Kofi Ochire-Daku noted that the invitation thrown to the diasporan community goes beyond remittances.
In 2024, remittances alone exceeded 6.4 billion. That's about 6% of our GDP. And in 2025, we're now on course to surpass 6.8.
We and some of the typical channel so I'm not so Jimmy. That's an so bad in the Adomia. A Bessamble realm, not a sumo constant age politics avenue.